Patriotic Alliance leader Gayton McKenzie has singled out criminal cartels as among the major issues that are underlying causes of the melee that is affecting the power utility Eskom. The power utility is tethering on the brink of collapse after plunging the country into a series of rolling blackout. McKenzie, who's also the mayor of the Central Karoo District Municipality, suggests a number of possible solutions that he believes can rescue the country from darkness. He joins us now. Gayton, good to have you with us tonight, and thank you very much for your time. Former President Thabo Mbeki was talking earlier on at UNISA, saying the problem at Eskom is that when we're building those two power stations, Kusile and Medupi, we didn't bring 10 key solutions. We dissected that tender way too much in the spirit of black economic empowerment, so much so that the one who was welding and the one who was setting up the system were not communicating. And these systems are now in conflict with one another. What do you say? What is at the heart of what we are seeing as chaos at Eskom right now?
Thanks, Thabo. Thanks for having me on the show. And good evening to your listeners and your viewers. Now, I think, you cannot pinpoint one thing. Everything is wrong at Eskom. It is mechanical. It is, as former President Thabo Mbeki said, they would know, they were there, they took the decisions. We can't argue with people that said, yeah, we made a mistake. Who are we to come and say they didn't make a mistake if they admit that they've made a mistake? But the issue is far deeper than just structural or mechanical or regarding the type of skills welders. There's a mafia problem at Eskom. There are the truck mafias involved, the fuel mafias are involved, the coal mafias involved. That whole place is like a den of mafias. People are just making money. People are suffering off to fix this thing. They break that thing. Its whole thing is just sabotage. It's not sabotage, crime mixed with sabotage. It is very difficult. And then you still have a very incompetent board there. It's a couple of, it's a bouquet of disaster, all mixed into Eskom.
And how do you solve it? I mean, others are saying a part of what needs to happen, in fact, maybe it is happening, but they're just not yet finding each other, is a negotiation around these mafias, that all of them must sit around the table and must all agree that, okay, let's fix this thing, you'll get this part, you'll get that part, you'll get this part, and then Eskom can be fixed tomorrow. But right now is that they are not in agreement as to who gets what part, and therefore that's why they are continuing to benefit from the chaos that is at Eskom.
Now, I think Eskom, this suggestion is a very nonsensical one, Thabo. When you start negotiating with mafias, then you become a mafia state. That one should not even be entertained. The only negotiation you should have with them is putting them in a maximum security prison. You see, sometimes even when the ordinary honest citizens are suffering, what the president should be doing or the cabinet should be doing is they need to, I don't think they need to declare a state of emergency around energy.
Yeah.
And because what more emergency is there than people not getting what Eskom stands for? They're supposed to give us electricity.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that, so there's an emergency. So the rules that's governing wherever state of emergency is being declared and the rules that don't govern there is different.
Yeah.
So what needs to happen is that is an important decision that they need to take. But I'm listening to them and they all say, now today we're in stage, all that they're good at is telling us what the problem, what the result of the problem is going to be. You're going to be in stage 6, you're going to be load shedded. But nobody really coming and we all talk about what is wrong. Yes, we can talk all day, every day about what is wrong and investigate that. But coupled with that should be the solution.
Yeah.
And that's what I looked at this thing together with our team at the Patriotic Alliance, and we said, if we were in the shoes of the president and his cabinet, what would we have done?
Right.
And we then realized that they need 1,000 megawatts energy.
Well, one would say they need a little bit more than that in terms if we want to grow in a particular direction.
All right, let's just say for the sake of our solution, they need 5,000 megawatts.
Yeah.
Right. They need 5,000 megawatts. Now, pinpointing the mafias, pinpointing BEE, pinpointing all of that is not going to 5,000 megawatts and not going to mysteriously appear. So your problem is still 5,000 megawatts, no matter what you find out there. Then we said the Central Karoo is one of the few places in South Africa that hit the renewable energy jackpot. What does that mean?
Yeah.
It means we've got sun during the day, we've got wind at night, we've got vast tracts of land, and we've got evacuation capacity, transmission, which basically means we can take energy out of the Central Karoo to Gauteng, to Durban. I can't even think of any place in South Africa at the moment that has all four. That's why we call it the jackpot. Land, evacuation, sun, and wind. Now that is a gift that is not being used. So what we're proposing is declare a state of energy emergency. What does that mean? It means let's not do things through the normal long processes.
Yeah.
Government should come and say, and invite 100 businesses in the renewable space, in the energy space, and say, come and build. Government should invite 100 companies and say, or even 1,000 or whatever amount, and say, come and build megawatts here, come and build 500,000 megawatts here in the Central Karoo.
Yes.
And we will give you an offtake.
Yeah.
Now, while these people are building, government will then build, while they put solar and battery in, government will then build extra transmission. Eskom, or even we can get companies to build, to give more capacity to transmit energy.
Right.
While that happens, we can then deal with the mafias.
Yeah.
With the mafias, we should just go in there and arrest them. We must not play with these people. You know, we are a government. A government cannot negotiate. Mexico doesn't sit down with the drug dealers and say, you must not supply so much drugs this month. It is bold dash.
Yeah.
It is nonsense. We must arrest them. If they are scared, they must give me a chance to become the police commissioner. If Bekele and the minister is scared, we must go in there and arrest all of them. You go to the houses, you take them, you lock them up. All of them, you demolish that gang, you crush that gang. And while the right people are working there finding the solution,
yeah,
that's the only way. Now, the problem we are sitting with is everybody is saying what is wrong. We are not saying only what is wrong. We are coming with a solution. No one can argue against that because I am the mayor of the Central Karoo. I know we've got sun. I know we've got land. I know we've got wind. I know we've got evacuation. And I am telling you now, if government is serious about ending load shedding, 5 months. Give me 5 months, and I will then give them 11,000 megawatts.
I can already hear the experts saying the mayor of the Klein Karoo must try it. He must just build 100 megawatt power station in 6 months. Let's see him do it, and maybe we might listen to him, because they are of the view, of course, that it takes at least 24 months to get this thing going and get the build right, raise the money, do the environmental assessment, impact studies, get the whole entire infrastructure and everything built. At least 24 months before we can begin to see a watt of power coming through. But not only that, the other side of the mafia that wants us to continue to use coal are saying you've got a capacity to produce close to 50,000 megawatts of power in Eskom right now. But unfortunately, we are currently producing at less than 50% actually of what we should be producing. So the thing that you need to do is to at least up the energy availability factor and put it at 75 will be okay. So fix what is broken. What you're suggesting is IPPs, which they are saying is non-dispatchable energy, right? They can't dispatch it unless we buy, I don't know, millions and millions of batteries to be able to store this. But currently, you can build 1,000 projects if you like, but those IPPs are non-dispatchable. You still need base load.
I agree with them. And let me just answer the 3 points you've raised. Firstly, I agree with them. It takes 24 months to get the approvals, the EIAs, to get and raise the money. You see, and that's where I come in and said, on an emergency basis, we are already in a red zone in the Central Karoo, which means we don't need this long EIA. I am precisely saying that. And those ones that say they still need to raise money, we are not talking to them. There are funds. I mean, you look at one of the world's biggest funds, 2.8 trillion rand. It's called 91. It is run by a South African in London, most capable person. We speak to funds and we say, can you come and build this thing? We don't want people here with no money. We've got an emergency. We must still go raise money. We don't want those. We want serious people that there's cash on hand. That's number one. Number two, we are not saying that it should only be renewables. We are saying we need a triple mix of energy. Renewables, nuclear being one of them. Renewables, but the solution that we are coming with is the one that's tangible now. And this thing where they say you need batteries, of course you're going to need batteries. But those things come with a package. When you take all the red tape away, you can build 100 megawatt plant in 5 months if you put all the red tape and you bring the right people. You look at China. They build these things here. Everything must take long. I don't know why. And lastly, I have never in my entire life seen a country that's about to take such a stupid decision like moving away from coal. We are sitting with LOM, which is life of mines, around 400 years of coal. Coal can provide jobs. Germany and Europe tells us we are not a colony of them. We must move away from coal while they are sprinting towards coal. What nonsense. You know that one must be put off the table. We must also go for coal. That is the months where we must sell to Germany coal. We must sell to these people coal. They can't tell us since when do we take instructions from Europe. Now we must move away from coal. For what? That doesn't even make sense to me. I don't even want to argue that thing. I will never agree with it. But we are strong at this. The world needs coal at the moment. Europe needs coal. They tell us Germany is now opening all their coal plants. But they tell us to close our ones. It's like somebody tell you, leave your partner because I want to take him. I can't think of a better example. So what I'm saying is our idea that we're coming with to assist Eskom is based on fact, is based on figures, is based on the correct timing.
Yeah. Now,
people shouldn't criticize only without telling us what better they can put on the table. At the moment, nuclear will take you 3 to 4 years minimum time. But renewable solar will not take you that long. It is immediate. It just needs decisiveness and it needs political will, and we can start working tomorrow.
And it needs money. So 110 solar companies, who's going to fund those solar companies?
Number one, there's solar companies with money. Let's start there. There's solar companies that they were fighting for the IPPs. You cannot tell me, if I look at it costs around R1 billion to have 100 megawatt plant. There are many companies that sit on that cash. But forget about that. We are sitting on 2.2 trillion at the PIC. Why must we give it to the private sector when the people need that money? We are scared to take political decisions. The deputy president is the head of, is in charge of the PIC. It falls under business in the presidency. Let them take a decision and say, all right, we're going to take 20 billion. They gave Steinhoff 47 billion. You want to tell me they don't want to give 40 billion to build or 100 billion, while he's sitting on 2.2 trillion of pension fund money that will come back because it is not donation, it's not a donation, it is not free money. You see, we like to complicate things with English in meetings. This thing is very simple. There's the sun, there's the wind, there's the land, there's the evacuation, there's the money by the PAC, government's got their own money. Let's do this thing. But now you give Steinhoff billions. You give all these companies, blue chip companies in Sandton. All of them, they've got loans at the PIC. Why can't you help the ordinary men and women that are struggling in this country? The ordinary men and women that can't phone because it's load shedding when they get robbed or raped. That cannot. People are stealing when it is dark. It is a mess out there. And you're sitting with money? Why is that money there for? Why are we sitting with money? The problem that we are having trouble, let me tell you, we like meetings, we like to look at complications, we like to brainstorm, blame everybody else. Here's the solution. I'm saying, come here, let's do this thing. In 5 months, we can give 11,000 megawatts to Eskom.
Gayton McKenzie, let's leave it there. Much appreciated. Thank you for coming on tonight and weighing in. Well, there's a solution from the Patriotic Alliance and their suggestion. In 5 months, they say, we could have close to 11,000 megawatts already in the grid. The sun is there, the wind is there, there's evacuation, and there's money at the PIC, they're saying. Let's go and do what needs to be done.